Good morning, everyone. I can't hear you. Good morning, everyone. Hello, how are you? So before we get started, I just want to say thank you for coming today. Caregiving is hard. Caregiving can be rewarding, but I just wanted to acknowledge you. So before we get started, I kind of want to do an affirmation with you guys, just so that we can set this morning off so you can see our energy and how we're going to go presenting to you. So you can say this with me. I would love to hear you. So I'll start with, I am enough. I am enough. I belong. I belong. And I matter. I matter. Thank you so much. So my name is Juanita Banks Whittington. I am the co-founder of Charlene Circle of Support, and we are here to talk to you about another side of caregiving, which is called kinship care. Many of you may know what kinship care is, not by the word, but by what the people who do it. So we're going to get started, and you'll get to know more about who we are. And I will be moving around because I don't want to just stand in one spot, okay? So again, today, you guys have seen a lot of caregiving when it comes to the elderly or individuals that may be raising disabled children, but we will be talking about what kinship care is. Go ahead.
And good morning, everyone. Just to piggyback off my sister Juanita, my name is Shanae Banks, and I'm the founder of Charlene Circle of Support. And we'll tell you a little bit about why we named it Charlene Circle of Support and why we know that bringing awareness to kinship caregiving is so important. So as mentioned, my name is Shanae Banks. I'm the founder. I have a background in higher education. My older sister, Juanita Banks, she has a background, and she's a licensed social worker. And we also have a younger sister that has assisted us in starting this foundation as well in memory of our mom.
So a little bit more about me. I am an Army veteran. I am a licensed social worker here in Maryland, and I'm a children's book author. So here we go, everyone. Are you ready? All right. So at Charlene Circle of Support, our mission is to empower kinship caregivers and the youth that they're raising whose parents may be dealing with incarceration, substance abuse, or mental health illness. And how do we do this? We do this by providing resilience and well-being. So I ask you guys this. We keep saying the word kinship care. You may not know what that is, but by the raise of hands, who knows someone that is raising a child that is not theirs? Okay, we have some hands. That is what kinship care is. So you may see that maybe when you were younger, growing up, a grandmother or aunt or family member was raising maybe all of the children in the family, the little cousins that you may know. So that is what kinship care, a family member, which is a grandmother or family member, or a family friend that is raising these youth, okay? So we kind of already talked about what kinship care is. So we are a year and a half old, and when we first started, we just was working with the youth. But as we started working with them, we started seeing, well, all of the people that are raising them are those kinship caregivers. So as we started doing our research, we started to find out that there is over 2.6 million youth in the United States that are in some form of kinship care. And in the state of Maryland, it's over 66,000. Now, that's just the ones that actually say, hey, I am in a kinship care provider. So imagine how many more people are being raised by family members. So those were just some of the numbers that we found, and we kind of want to share a little bit more with you as well.
So as my older sister mentioned, why we exist, This is a picture of our grandmother, Juanita Banks. She raised us, and she actually took both of us home from the hospital. So here's the reality. Every one child in foster care with a relative, of that, 19 more raised outside of the foster care system. So what that means is we're all familiar with the term foster care. We all know that term. But then there's that hidden side of foster care, that's kinship care. We all know someone in the community. They may just be down the street. They may be a coworker that had to take in their grandchild, or they had to take in, it would be an aunt that took in their nieces. So to also elaborate, our aunts actually raised us. Think about it, our grandmother got to a point where she could not raise us anymore because she got older, and then our two aunts had to step in and raise us. The importance of that is we did not have to go into a system. We stayed within our family, within our community, and the beauty of it is we are able to see our families every day. My sister and I, we actually were not raised in the same household, right? But the thing is, we were able to still communicate with each other. We were still able to talk to each other openly instead of being in a system of foster care. And we were able to keep our culture intact. We still dealt with trauma and things of that nature. But to us, when it comes to kinship care, we want to bring the awareness. Why we named it Charlene Circle of Support, because if you are a caregiver providing for a family member, you're going to need that circle of support.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for the hand claps. We appreciate that. So we hope that everything that we're saying today resonates with you guys. Again, this is another form of caregiving that is not recognized. So last year, Governor Wes Moore, he started the Kinship, it's called the Kin First Initiative. So that prioritizes placements for youth to go with the kinship caregiver as well as resources for them. So we are really pushing that when it comes to our services as well. So here we go. We keep talking about Charlene. Who was Charlene? So this is our wonderful mom, Charlene. You know, she struggled with many things. She dealt with mental health illness. She dealt with substance abuse. She even dealt with incarceration. But what I will tell you is that even though she dealt with all of those things, she was always there for us. All of the holidays, anytime that she was out of rehab or she was had a past, she would come and visit us. So she was always there, and that's something that really meant a lot to us. So when she passed away in 2018, we said, how are we going to honor her? How are we going to continue to let little girls and little boys know that they matter as well and support the caregivers that are raising them? So that is why we started Charlene Circle of Support, because without a circle, you're nothing. All right, so we've been talking a lot, right? So kind of want to dive a little bit more into who we are, right? So we are trauma informed. We hear that a lot with different organizations, but we have lived experiences. So we know firsthand what the families are going through. So when they reach out to us, when we get a referral from social services, we know when we pull up and we say, hey, Grandma Mabel, or whoever is reaching out to us, that we can say, we really understand where you're coming from and we're here to help you. So how do we do that? We do that through emotional support, through wellness and mental health workshops, through the I Matter Empowerment Program. We do that through our youth and caregiver care package program that we're providing laundry detergent, paper towels, toilet paper for these caregivers. Again, things that they need. So it's not just, hey, go to social services and you can get access to food stamps. No, that's not what we're doing. We're actually doing things that the family members actually need to build them up and to feel like, man, I matter, I'm struggling, I have great-grandchildren that I'm taking care of, but I know that Charlene Circle of Support is here to help me, right? So that is what we're doing.
So we keep speaking on kinship care, and it's important to understand the numbers as well. So this slide talks about the numbers. When we first formed Charlene Circle of Support, we spoke on substance abuse, we spoke on mental illness and incarceration, and we are products of that. So here are some statistics to know that 1 in 4 children live with a parent who has substance abuse use disorder. 2.7 million children currently have a parent that is incarcerated. And then 38% of the children in foster care live with a relative, and often it means they're unlicensed. Sometimes when you're unlicensed means that you do not receive the same resources as you would if you're licensed and you're in formal care. And I know we're saying a lot of words, but one of the things that we want to do is just educate and bring awareness. So I mentioned formal care. There's informal kinship care and there's formal kinship care. We were actually in informal kinship care. We had guardians, so our aunts actually had to complete a guardianship paperwork, but they never actually formally adopted us. So that is one of the differences. And then also in informal care, you don't get the same stipend and monthly, meaning a monthly stipend to take care of the youth that you bring in. So can you only imagine what that means to that particular family member, the cost financially? And that's one of the things that we just want to ensure that we're supporting them in ways and filling in that gap.
All right. So you see the picture here. This is me and my sisters and our mother, Charlene. So we grew up in New York. We're born and raised in New York. And this is one of the times that my mom was in rehab, and she came, and we never really remember things, but you have these memories from when you were little. So this is a memory. My mom was in rehab. She played on a softball team. So she came to my grandmother's house in New York to visit us, and that is what this picture is from. So again, I just want to show and tell you that no matter what she was going through, she was always there. So that really means a lot to us. So kind of want to talk a little bit more about the challenges that kinship caregivers face. And you'll see some of the statistics. There's a lot of legal barriers, especially depending on the state that you're in. Maryland is not as bad as some states, but 57% of caregivers have issues with lack of legal custody. They may not even understand what their rights are because, again, this is something that is a hidden thing. Then you have the financial strain. So 60% of the caregivers have financial strain. So again, my sister already said there's formal and informal. So if you decide not to go formal, then that means, let's say it's a grandmother. She only is living off of her retirement, Social Security. Imagine trying to raise great-grandchildren with just that. So that is why we kind of want to bring some of that to light. And then 70% of the caregivers feel like they lack support. So raise a hand, who are caregivers at any, whether it's a parent or child, who feels like they lack support? Right. A lot of people. And that's just for the ones that felt courageous to raise their hands. Because a lot of times this is something that people don't really want to talk about, and they suffer in silence. The final thing is the confusion of rights. So one of the things that we have a lot of our families come to us and say, they say, well, I went to social services. They told me that if I go through the formal process for caregiving, that I have to give up my grandchild for custody. And we're like, are you sure? So that's another thing that they're not really understanding. Just think about that. You took in your grandchild, niece or nephew, you go to social services for help, and they say you have to give them up. But is it just the confusion of them saying it's on paper? But again, them understanding that word, just saying you have to give them up, they run away. So that's one of the things that we're hearing from a lot of caregivers. So they don't even continue the process because they don't understand it and it's not being explained to them well enough. You want to go?
I think the echo is from us not having it as high up. So we were speaking on what we want to provide to families and how we want to go about doing that. So one of our important pieces of our program is the dual impact approach, and that means we service the whole family. We're going to service the caregiver, and we're also going to service the youth that the caregiver has taken in. How we do that, we provide healing, stability, a connection, and access to additional kinship resources and community partners as well.
So as you can see in this picture, the lady at the top in the blue shirt, that's one of our aunts. She helped raise us. So again, we are full circle of support. We have everyone supporting all of the things that we do. In the bottom picture is one of our families, and the grandmother has 7 grandchildren that she's raising from the ages of 3 to 14. So we've been around for a year and a half, and in that year and a half, we've been in Charles County and Anne Arundel County. And in those counties, we have provided over 48 kids with care packages where they're able to feel like they belong, as well as we are in 3 schools in Anne Arundel County. So we have clothing closet. So we have one at Hillsmere Elementary. We contribute to Annapolis and Meade Middle School's clothing closet. We have over 6 community partners that's allowing us to do the work that we're doing. We also, for our 1-year anniversary last November, we had a kinship care pop-up closet. So those caregivers loved all of the things that we were able to provide for them for that event. And then we have a mentorship group. So I have 6th grade boys where I'm pouring into them at Annapolis Middle School as well. So these are some of the boys down here in the bottom picture. Brought in a basketball player so they can see that again. We're encouraging them, showing them that they matter in every single room that they enter. So we talked about the circle of support, and here are some of our initiatives. Nay, you want to go?
Yes. So when we first started Charlene Circle of Support, our first big initiative was a care package, and that care package consisted of a special wish list item for the youth and then necessities for the youth. So what that looks like is we literally will get the referral in, and the youth can be of any age. We find out what they're interested in, and then we also give them any necessities. One recent care package, there was a youth that was into football, and then we also have youth that are into soccer. So we wanted to ensure that that grandparent was able to provide something for them so they can continue the sport. So of course, we made sure that they had soccer cleats, football cleats. We then provided those necessity items that they needed as well. And they're really excited about it because, number one, they feel like someone is actually giving them something that they need. Number one, they know. And then there's still fun items in there to make sure that they feel seen as well.
Yeah, so right here is Miss Debbie. That is one of our caregivers in Anne Arundel County. She reached out to us. We did a presentation through the Partnership of Children, Youth, and Families there. And she reached out and she said, oh, I need your help. So I showed up with a backpack full of clothes and toys and books for her grandson. And then the picture below is at Meade Middle, at Annapolis Middle School. We were able to do something for our boys at the end of the year. The young man to the right used to play for the Commanders, so he came in and he was so excited to work with our youth. So we talked about the clothing closet, so that we started last year. So we were able to provide youth. It was about 100 of them with clothes, toiletries, different things that they need, and that was for any child. Go ahead.
And then one of our major mentorship programs is called the I Matter program, and that program is trauma-informed, identity-based mentorship experience designs to empower the youth. And my older sister, Juanita, actually formed that program through social work.
So as you can see, this is me here and some of the books that I have authored. You can see them on our table back here. And we are in schools and we are empowering youth just to know that they matter. And it's I matter why, who am I? That's what the WAI stands for.
And last but not least, this is our major program. This is one of the programs we actually want everyone in this room to actually remember and speak to their circle of support and community about this program. We actually hosted our first I Matter Empowerment Group program in Charles County. And that program, as we mentioned earlier, we spoke on dual impact. And that dual impact program was a day to service the kinship caregivers and then the youth. So it consisted of wellness workshops for the caregivers and then also workshops for the youth, age-based workshops for them. We normally do them about 10 to 2. And we want to ensure that, number one, the caregivers have time to themselves, time to meet other caregivers and speak to their experiences, and also to be seen and heard. And that's what our first one, it was a great experience because we got to speak to and hear from a lot of caregivers. Of course, the youth had a great time. But the most impact we're seeing is from those caregivers. We have our next one in September. September is actually Kinship Awareness Month, and it's going to be hosted in Anne Arundel County. And we'll actually provide additional information about that. But as you can see, the picture here, the progression and the growth. So that's why it's important that we're number one, bringing awareness. And we're speaking to you all that's sitting at the table because although you might not know someone personally, at the moment you may actually cross paths with someone that could benefit from the program. And our goal is to move into additional counties in Maryland and be statewide to support kinship caregivers so that, as we keep saying, that feeling seen, make sure they feel seen and know that they matter.
So here is the Kinship Care Program. This is one of our families that we have, and we were able to give her, this was last year when we did our one-year event, and you can see we have paper towels in this basket, laundry detergent is in there, all of the things that a family needs. And 70% of kinship caregivers feel like they do not have the access of support that they really need. So we're really honing in on the statistics because that is what matters. Statistics matters, and we're just trying to show you what we're doing to uplift the caregivers and show them that we care. So our goals for this year, we're almost halfway through, but what we want to do is expand our youth and kinship care program to different neighborhoods. So in Charles County, we're in Anne Arundel County. We also want to serve 30 plus new kinship caregivers and youth, and host 2 of our I Matter programs, which we will have made that goal in September. So we're really excited about that and continue to build our network of community partners. So if you in the room are a business owner or affiliated with an organization that is interested in what we're doing, we would love for us to have a conversation as well. So I have an activity, you know, I kind of started off with the affirmation. So I would love to do an activity with you guys. You'll see right here the 2 poster boards that we have. It is the I Am Wall of Strength. and you have pens and sticky notes on your table, I would love for you to take a few moments to write down something about your strength. And some of the examples that I have is, I am strong, I am doing my best. Those are just some examples, but I would love for you to write on one of the sticky notes your I am statement of strength, and then come up here and put it on the poster board, because this is something, again, that a lot of times no one asks us how we feel. No one actually really understands how we feel either. So we want to make sure that you know that we care, and we want to show you another form of expression for yourself, because a lot of times we hold everything in. So I would love for you guys to participate and write those statements down and come up here and put it on the board. If you cannot walk, raise your hand and somebody will come and get it for you and put it on our wall of strength. So we're going to take a few minutes to do this. That you know that we care about you as well. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you everyone for participating.
Come around. So I ask you guys this, how does that feel? Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel like, man, I just let off a load? Because again, we keep a lot of that stuff inside, and we don't have anyone to express those feelings to. So I think it makes me feel good to have you guys feel good. So I want to say one of these. I'm just going to read, if you don't mind. Just one. I'm going to peek over and just read one. This is new for me, too. I am learning. I love that. I love that. And I appreciate everyone for being vulnerable today. I appreciate you for kind of getting a better understanding about a hidden form of caregiving, which is called kinship care. So again, we just want to let you know that we appreciate you, that the youth that we are servicing appreciate you, the individuals that you are caring for appreciate you as well. But I will end here. Again, in the state of Maryland, over 43,000 grandparents are raising youth. So we started off with over 2.6 million in the U.S. Then we said in the state of Maryland, it was over 66,000 that were raising kids. But now we dropped down to 43,000 of that 66 is grandmothers and grandparents. That's a lot. That's a lot of people that are not being recognized and are caring for youth in silence. And then, again, I live in Anne Arundel County. So when you think about Anne Arundel County, 7.3% of those families, those youth, live in poverty. So just really wanted to share those numbers with you, again, because the numbers is what matters. You may see ones and twos, people you may know, but when you hear a number, you're like, wow, never knew that. So a lot of people ask us, how can you support us? So you could support us in different ways. You could support us by donating, right? Donating, partnering with us, because there are businesses here. There are other organizations. Volunteering. So volunteering is free. So we are a young organization, so we really need volunteers to be able to come out and spread the word about what we're doing. Sponsoring a program. You've heard about a bunch of different programs and initiatives that we have. We want to be able to continue to provide those for these families because, again, they matter. We also want you to spread the word. Spread the word could be a text message. I was at MPT today for this caregiving event. Oh my goodness. We had presenters. They were awesome. These two young ladies was there with this organization called Charlene Circle of Support. And when I tell you I learned so much about kinship care, that's all you have to do is tell people. I just met these young ladies, and they educated me on so many new things. The other thing is participate in our programs. So if you have a caregiver that you know that's raising youth, that needs assistance, let them know what we're doing so that they can participate. So we do have a couple QR codes here, but we do have this on our table as well. We're right over here, so you can come and visit us. So I wanted to also give you guys, as a raise of hands, who enjoyed this I Am Wall of Strength? Who enjoyed that? Now, this is something that you can incorporate into your organizations. If you're an organization, again, it makes people feel like, man, they took the time to think about me. But I have something else for you. So I have another activity, which is for the caregivers, where they can actually journal. It's journal prompts. You can scan the QR code, and you can actually download that and be able to take some of those prompts again, because a lot of times we're taking care of other people and we're not taking care of ourselves. So we need to remember that, and that is why I created this other activity for you guys. So this is also on our table, so if you don't get it, you can come by our table and scan it there as well. So again, let's build brighter futures together. It takes a circle of support to be able to do all of the things that we're doing, and that goes for any type of caregiving, not just for the youth that we're supporting, but for people that are taking care of their parents, people that are taking care of a disabled family member. Again, we all need to know that we matter in every single room that we enter. So I'm going to go back one. This QR code is to our website, but this one is for that activity. Really would love for you guys to do that. I think it'll be really good for you. So again, my name is Juanita Banks Whittington. I am the co-founder of Charlene Circle of Support. And
I'm Shanae Banks, and I'm the founder, and we truly appreciate your time. And we hope that, through our awareness and speaking on kinship care, you guys take something home with you, spread the word, and definitely, if you can, subscribe to our website so that you can stay in the know and continue to follow us in the journey, and definitely share about our programs.
Thank you so much. Our table is over here, and thank you again.